Well, good morning, everybody. Hello and welcome in. Glad you're with us here today on this Friday edition of Longshore McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Barry has the day off today. Much deserved. A little R&R Troy with the week off. So it's you and I today, a little solo, but we got a lot of guests, a lot of people on the show today, and a lot to tell you about. Live from Stivers Ford here in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. Getting close to the end of the month here. We're at the 26th day of September. And as I like to tell everybody, Advantage Car Buyer. End of the month, they want to meet and exceed the sales goals for their monthly goal that they have out there. They do every year, but exceeding it, man, Detroit really likes to see that. And here at Stivers, they certainly exceed those goals because Price sells cars. Great selection here. Fantastic sales associates to help you with all of your transportation needs. And, of course, a lot going on here, a lot of construction going on here out at Stivers. You'll see as you pull up to the dealership, a lot of exciting things going on. Why? Because so many people trust their transportation needs with our friends here at Stivers. The absolute best prices, no doubt about it. Go look around if you want to, kick a few tires. You'll be back here at Stivers, I can promise you that. But the selection, they've got what you want here today, right now. Not Tuesday, but right now, today. And, of course, a great sales experience for you here at Stivers. Also, if you're thinking about an EV vehicle, those federal tax credits expire at the end of this month, so take advantage of that. Those tax credits could be huge for you, but after September, they are gone. So take advantage of that, like our friend Jason down in Troy, when he got his EV F-150 that Barry was telling us about earlier this week. So a lot of exciting things going on here at Stivers. Going to tell you about it all morning long, but we got a lot to talk about. We got some big football games this weekend in college. Obviously, Alabama traveling to Athens, Auburn traveling to Texas A&M. That's going to dominate a lot of the conversation today, as it should. Ryder Cup is underway. They got out there early today at Bethpage Black and sweeping some dew out there today at the Ryder Cup. Very exciting time. Loved team golf competition. In the first match, Bryson DeChambeau, who drove the first green today, gave the fans what they wanted. Bryson DeChambeau and Justin Thomas one up on John Rahm and Terrell Hatton. They're through 4 holes at the moment. Also, Scotty Scheffler, Russell Henley tied with Ludwig Aberg and Matt Fitzpatrick. And the other match, the European team of Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood one up on Colin Morikawa and Harris English. Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay going to tee off in momentarily against Robert McIntyre and Victor Hovland. So Ryder Cup action underway. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning on that. Going to be an exciting weekend of golf. Get up early, watch some Ryder Cup, watch some college football, the NFL on Sunday. Oh, the NFL last night. I mean, what are they doing to me here? As we like to say on this program, more on that later. More on that later. But right now, as we get things kicked off here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, we're going to bring in Gurn Sr. from a remote location. I mean, this guy's mysterious, never know where he'll be. He is joining us here today for several reasons. He's a big golf Ryder Cup fan, and his Vanderbilt Commodores are undefeated and a 22.5-point favorite against Utah State tomorrow in Nashville. A couple of things I never thought I'd see. Well, Vandy undefeated at this point and a 22-point favorite. What's going on up there in Nashville with your Commodores, Gurn?
I don't know, John. Can you hear me okay? As you said, I'm in a remote location at one of the finest Hampton Inns in Cartersville, Georgia. Headed out, came in from the north, headed to Hartsville to get on the jet. I've got a bag of cash. I'm headed out to Las Vegas to lay down a big wager. So, got to make a special trip this weekend.
So is this wager on Vandy? Is it on Vandy, on Bama, on Auburn, or undisclosed?
I can't disclose. I don't want the line to change before I get there. I got a special under I'm playing. So you can talk to your sharps that you talk to on the show, and I don't think they've got this one. We've got some inside information.
Okay.
Under.
Awesome.
Yeah, no,
Man,
it's exciting. It's exciting in Nashville, and basically Vanderbilt is just a symptom of what's going on in college football, and it's this is that everybody has good ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Alabama used to have good 1s, 2s, and 3s, and everybody's got good ones. That's why anybody can beat anybody. If you go out and spend the money, you're going to get good ones. You get a good quarterback, and then you get some good complementary guys. You can play and beat on anybody. Get a few DBs and a couple of D linemen and fill in the blanks. And so that's what they're doing now. As long as they keep healthy, as long as they stay healthy, they're fine.
Sure. Yeah.
If they're not healthy, that's when it goes off the rails, and that's what they have to worry about more than any other school.
Well, does a school like Vanderbilt have to worry about it more? I mean, obviously their first 22 are pretty dadgum good, but I'm wondering after that, can they compete with teams, I don't know, like in Alabama or Georgia or Ohio State with 2s and 3s? I wonder if there's a lot of teams out there, as you mentioned, they're good at the 1s, but there's a big drop off after that.
Well, let's talk about that. All right, everybody, you get all these Bammers, like I'm a Bammer, but all these crazy Bammers who say, oh, Nick Saban, we got to have Nick Saban back. We got to go back. This guy can't do it. Nick Saban can't coach in this era.
Yeah.
Bottom line. I mean, he coached with 1s, 2s, and 3s. You can't keep the 2s anymore. Look at where all Alabama's 2s are. Justin Haynes is at Michigan. All these other guys are at Florida State and other places. So they're getting theirs. We're playing with 1s and 3s now. Now, our 3s are really good, but they're young. And our 1s are good. But everybody else has good 1s too. So, no, that's why you still look at the SEC. Nobody's great. I mean, like, unbeatable.
Yeah.
I'd
agree with that. Well, some of those Alabama teams, some of those teams that Saban had at Alabama, I don't see a team like that in the SEC today, just loaded across the board, deep with the 2s and the 3s. I'm with you. I get it.
It's all quarterback based. If you got a good quarterback, you can make it happen. If your quarterback stumbles, you can't. Hey, look at the games this week in the SEC. I know you've talked about them.
Yeah.
If I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm pissed. I'm playing at 2:30. Lane Kiffin should be playing at 6:30.
I agree. Yes.
That game. Say what you want to about Alabama, Georgia. LSU Ole Miss is the biggest game this weekend. Period.
Yeah. Both of them undefeated.
Both damn good.
Yeah, and I wonder. Yeah, you're right. Bama's got a loss. I guess it's just the scheduling. They got kind of screwed on the scheduling setup because I'm with you.
They just assumed.
I will say this, Gurn. I'm kind of glad that the game is at 2:30 because your godson's going to Oxford, and I'm just would rather the game be at 2:30 than 6:30. If you catch my drift.
Yeah. Well, hotty toddy there.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. In Nashville, I think they'll blow out. I think it's the Aggies.
They are
what Utah State.
Correct.
Aggies. If this were Barry, he could tell you the stadium name
and probably broadcast from there.
That. What's that?
He's probably broadcast from there.
And I do want to tell the viewers: do not adjust your camera. Yes, there's somebody more beautiful than Barry on the air now. So I didn't want him to fiddle with the toner and all that kind of stuff. So,
well, I tell you, he does have you on the hair, but he's got me on the hair too. Barry's still got
me on the hair, and I got the waddle. You got to go with the old man waddle too.
Yeah, exactly. He's still got that flowing lock of hair, no doubt. I don't want to shift gears on you, but we're going to talk about a lot of subject here that just popped into my head because you were talking about the changes in college football. Why do you think Bruce Pearl stepped down?
That's a good question. And only Bruce can say that. But the bottom line is, this is just my personal opinion, is that he wants Stephen to have the job. Okay. So when should he do that to make sure Stephen is going to get the job? He's going to do it right before the season starts. They can't go out and they can't do a coaching search. The real issue, I think everybody thought Stephen would be the coach in waiting, but you just never know. You never know what the AD is going to think or what the trustees or whatever. But, he's going to get a year to do it, and they've got a good team. So he should have a good year. And so that should get him a long-term contract. What will be interesting is, do they lock him down before the season or during the season? I don't know. That just would be interesting.
Yeah.
If he gets a 3-year contract right now.
Well, he's got a 5-year. Yeah, he's got a 5-year deal. What I haven't found out is what the buyout is. Maybe does that get worked in as he kind of, progresses and starts winning? 5 years, but if the buyout's not any big deal, there again, I do not know that. I do know it's a 5-year deal, though.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about having a piece of paper that tells you you're going to be employed if they want you. I'm talking about hard money down on a buyout. That's where the real, that's where the rubber meets the road, as they say. So, if any coach can go any day, the real issue is the buyout.
Sure.
And he's got a good staff, and they know how to work it. It'll be interesting. Pearl was probably in the top 3 coaches, game coaches, situation coaches.
Yep.
And, you have to, he's got that way because he's been through the fire for 35 years. So Stephen hasn't. He's got a lot of good experience, and he'll have to figure it out as he goes too.
Yeah, but it's not the first time we've seen this. We saw it with Coach K. We saw it North Carolina. We saw it at Virginia. Now we're seeing it at Auburn. Thought it was interesting that Pearl's announcement, kind of the same time the announcement in Virginia, right before they get on the floor to start practice, kind of tough for these guys to move. There is a 30-day window, but, where are you going to go now? Where's the coaching staff? Where's the coaching staff going to go? So kind of a really interesting time to do it. I get it. I mean, it's certainly to Auburn's advantage that Pearl's decided to do it now instead of, back in the spring or whatnot. You'll probably see more coaches do that as well, maybe in football as well as basketball. But I don't think people were overly shocked by it, maybe a little surprised by the timing. It's kind of like Saban. I mean, I wasn't shocked that Saban retired. The timing kind of surprised me a little bit. But I think in this day and age, particularly coaches and how the game has changed, NIL transfers, the whole deal, I think a lot of these coaches are over it. They don't want any part of it. It's just not what they signed up for.
So think about this. If you had to look at 2 coaches in our area, are there any 2 coaches that are more different than Saban and Pearl? Saban doesn't want to be around people. He keeps to himself. If you go after an Auburn basketball game to Lucy's over in Opelika, you will see the whole staff. You will see everybody. He brings in people. He's a man of the people. Takes his shirt off, paints himself up. There's no right way or wrong way to do it, but they are about as polarly opposite as
I agree.
People.
Well, and I think the popularity of Auburn basketball, not only are they winning, which is number one, going to the Final Four twice, but this guy went out and promoted his program. He wanted the fans to come. He engaged the fans. He made them feel like they were part of the program. That had never happened over there. Could probably happen in some other places as well. We could take it deeper, Gurn. I mean, Nate Oates and Bruce Pearl are polar opposite. I don't get the sense that Nate Oates is a big people person, that he wants to get out and yuck it up with the crowd at Galette's in Tuscaloosa after a big win.
No, I agree. And, Nate's the system coach. He plugs and plays his people, and he should be successful as long as he recruits well and NIL well. His system does not require a 5-star. It requires a lot of 4 stars. So one player.
No, I agree.
A single player, does not really. Brandon Miller was great, but he didn't take. He wasn't the end all be all. He needs 4 4-stars that can just fill it up, 6'6", can shoot, can play defense, that kind of player, and a couple of good points.
Sure. As we head to our first break today, I'm kind of curious, like I said, we're all over the place. What time do you touch down in Vegas? I'm just trying to figure out, how much time are you going to have to get to the window to make this wager that you're so hyped up about? And maybe what's the itinerary for the weekend? You watching a lot of games tomorrow?
1 o'clock flight. I get it. 1 o'clock flight gets me in about 2.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to have time to get to the window for Florida State, Virginia. That's my big concern.
Okay. All right.
I'll have to see how that goes. I am interested in that game because that's a trap game.
Well, remember what happened, late 90s on a Thursday night? Bobby Bowden takes them to Charlottesville. I think it was Warwick Dunn, a little short, doesn't cross the goal line. UVA wins, beats Florida State. I think Florida State won like 30 in a row. And UVA beat them on a Thursday night.
Family displeasure of UVA, so that's a whole nother story. We've had incidents at UVA, but get there. We got a little. Gonna go to the Sphere tomorrow and watch.
Awesome!
Watch the Wizard of Oz.
Sweet.
That's a big new show at the Sphere. We're gonna do that, and then gonna go see the Who on Sunday night. So that's their last. It's supposedly their last tour, but I think I've heard that before.
Sure. Heard that before many a time. Well, I think if you leave Atlanta at 1, that's 10 a.m., I believe, Vegas time. So I think you'll be okay. Yeah, I think you'll have plenty of time to get to the window for the UVA Florida State game, and then what other games tomorrow you might have of interest. All right, when we come back from our first break, we do this on Fridays. I'm looking forward to seeing what Gurn has to say about it. Monday's headlines today. We're going to get you to give us some of the headlines that we're going to be talking about Monday here on the program. What'll be in the, I would say papers, but what'll be all over the internet over the weekend based on the results of some college and NFL football or Ryder Cup or whatever it may be. We'll do Monday's headlines today. When we return, I am live at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. End of the month savings, folks. Take advantage of those end-of-the-month deals because they want to meet and exceed those monthly sales goals. How do they do that? By giving you the absolute lowest prices. Go ahead and push that envelope across the table and tell them what you want. I like your chances because at Stivers, they have a lot of satisfied customers. Come by and see them right now if you want to, or anytime during the weekend. Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
The dreams that matter most happen while we're awake, because they're the ones that remind us of the places we want to go, of the ideas we plan to pursue, of the legacies we hope to leave. We understand you have goals to meet, and we want to help you reach them, to fuel your vision and invest in whatever motivates you. So we want to know, what inspires you? Synovus Bank, member FDIC.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region.
And we're back.
Full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. And no order is too big or too small. From a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us here today on Longshore McKnight. Barry has the day off. Gurn Sr. is in this morning for a little while. Let me give you a little Ryder Cup update, and we also have Range Pro with some Ryder Cup info on our River Region Straw chat line. Through 5, DeChambeau and JT one up on John Rahm and Terrell Hatton. Hey, Gurn, step in if I mispronounce any of these guys' names, which is probably something I'll do.
Rory John, how do you pronounce Iberg with the circumvents over the little dots over his A?
Yeah. What is that?
Later.
Yeah, what is that little hyphenation? What is that? What's that called?
That's one of them foreign things. That's one of them foreign things.
Yeah, okay. Well, they're one up. Aberg, is it Aberg?
Aberg,
yeah, Ludwig Aberg and Matt Fitzpatrick one up on Scotty Scheffler and Russell Henley. Colin Morikawa and Harris English are one down to Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood. Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay tied with Robert McIntyre and Victor Hovland. So the Euros kind of got the better of us at this point early on in the Ryder Cup action. Range Pro says Ryder Cup with about 5 exclamation points. All 4 pairings go before 7 a.m. today. 2 are already off. Still like heavy favorites, McIlroy and Fleetwood at minus 195, beating Morikawa and English. Wake up, local man. Heavy chalk loves it. And, of course, as we mentioned, that is a pretty good duo there of McIlroy and Fleetwood, one up through 3 over Colin Morikawa and Harris English. So we'll keep you updated on the Ryder Cup throughout the morning. All right, Gurn, Monday's headlines today. What is the headline?
I got one for you, John.
Okay.
I got one for you, John.
Let me hear.
Can Alabama make the playoffs with 2 losses?
Okay. Because I was going to ask you about what the headline was going to be about Kalen DeBoer. A quick answer, yes, they can.
Then the Kalen DeBoer headline is only one that comes on the internet, not the mainstream media.
Okay. Now you're talking about
talk shows like this. Or talk shows like this.
Yes. Are you talking about what Tider Insider's headlines are going to be, or or AL.com? Quick answer: yes, they can. But if they're 2-2 going into October, it's hard to imagine with so many other top 20 teams left on their schedule, because I'm not sure they're going to make it with 3 losses. Some people think there will be a 3-loss team. I'm not sure that's going to happen in a 12-team playoff, but it could. But there's no more room for error. If Alabama loses tomorrow night, they can't lose again.
Look, it's a lot of it's the eye test too. If it's a great game, what do you do? I mean, if it's a game like UT Georgia, how do you get upset when you lose a game like that? I mean, you just can't. I mean, it's 2 great teams playing that. Yeah, but
But you know as well as I do, you know how Bama fans are. If they're 2-2, look, if Georgia kicks a field goal and wins 31-30, kind of like the Seahawks did last night. More on that later. They're still going to be upset. It's because they're 2-2. Doesn't matter how it happened. They're 2-2, and they're teetering on a playoff spot. And got LSU, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Auburn, Missouri, Vanderbilt still remaining on their schedule. There again, it could happen. It'd be a heck of a comeback, miraculous if they won out, finish the season 10-2, go to the playoff. Be awesome.
Look, everybody has to realize what the new normal is. With NIL, there are going to be more top to bottom teams in the SEC. Everybody's spending. We're going to get outspent. They're going to outspend. And look at Texas Tech is spending an obscene amount of money to have a team. I mean, it's just going to happen. And, it's unfortunate the first game of the year, that kind of threw everything off kilter, playing or whatever it is, where you could go and lose 2 games and still get in. But, you got to, and it just doesn't make people happy to think about it, but it's the new reality. It just is the new reality, no matter who your coach is. You can't. We spoiled is an understatement for what we've been.
There was some information that came out earlier this week, and we talked about this probably a year ago, maybe less than that. Athletic directors all across the country, all across the SEC, are kicking and screaming and scraping to get NIL collectives going and to stay steady in a stream of revenue coming in. There is a new system, or they've revamped Yay Alabama, the collective for the Crimson Tide, broken it down into two categories, basically. One of them is $5 a month. The other one, I believe, was like $25 a month. How many people do you have to have at $5 a month to make a dent?
A stadium full? A stadium full?
Yeah, that to me is just not sustainable.
Well, you know what UT's doing is a ticket surcharge. So, who's saying Alabama doesn't do the same thing, or isn't?
I'm not. I wish they would have phrased it that way. There's so many surcharges on goods and services that people buy every day that they don't even think about it. Just put it on there.
Why do I have to tip at Subway?
Well, yeah. Why do I have to tip my Walmart driver for delivering my coffee and my toilet paper?
Because they did that. They did something. They didn't just make your sandwich at the end of an aisle.
Well, so the guy at Subway did. I'm with you. Don't give me this tip box all over the place. But I just, wonder if they're, to me, are they panicking? Are they desperate? Do they have to have this? Are they trying to get $5 out of it? Hey, can you give us $5?
Well, what do you do? If you got the issues, where's Justin Ibakwe? Remember Justin Ibakwe, the defensive back who wanted to be a wide receiver, and he kind of held out, was going somewhere else, and obviously he got paid some more money. He's not seen the field much this year.
No.
Do you cut him loose? Does he have a contract for 4 years? You got to manage your staff as well, which is crazy. And then he'll even go be the next great thing at Wake Forest or
I think Hugh Freeze made a great statement months ago about we got to put these guys, we're going to commit to them, they got to commit to us. Now, does that make them an employee when you do that? I don't know all the ins and outs about that, but I do think if you're going to commit to people financially, make this big NIL deal, these people have got to commit to you for X amount of time, not just, 6 months and I'm out of here and I'm taking that money with me. That'll never work.
Well, here, I'll say this, and this is me putting on my prognosticator hat. 3 years from now, 4 years from now, when the IRS comes and the athletes haven't paid their taxes, and because they're spending their taxes and not setting it aside, they're not withholding. They have to withhold themselves. They have to set that money aside.
Sure.
If you don't set that money aside, it's not there in 4 years because you're not in the league. And you got nowhere else to pay. Your regular job's not going to help you pay your tax.
Yep.
So I think there'll be some fallout. That's why it'd be nice to be an employee, because at least you'd have some withholding format that they have to, that is put aside so the taxes get paid. You don't get popped later.
Yeah, I think that's something that's definitely got to get across to these athletes. Look, when we were that age, we didn't think about that stuff either. We weren't getting paid. Well, summer jobs, things of that nature. But the hundreds of thousands, millions in some cases, these young athletes have got to be very aware of what's coming on April the 15th and not stung by it. All right, what about the next headline? Monday's headlines today. What will the headline be about Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers after they return from College Station?
Big upset by Auburn.
Big upset by Auburn.
Everybody's singing A&M's praises, and they're good. They've got a good, solid quarterback. He went to NBA and NFL. He's solid, but he's just not reliable to me. Maybe he goes out and plays a great game. Auburn has a hell of a defense. If they can just hang in the game, I think they can pull it out. I really do. It's,
I do understand John Cohen had a very intense conversation with Greg Sankey this week about the officiating in Norman on Saturday. Matter of fact, he had a release about it, which kind of surprised me. He would make that, not all of it public, but certainly let people know that he had a conversation with the commissioner and let his feelings be known. People will say, well, that'll make the team and the players and the coaching staff feel better. Look, first time Texas A&M pops them in the mouth, all that's going to be out the window. It's all fine and dandy, but X's and O's, personnel on the field, I see where you're heading here. I mean, I think Auburn's got a good chance of going out there and winning.
Well, I'll say this. The football gods are like the golf gods.
Yes.
If you screw with them, they screw with you. So Oklahoma practiced that play all week.
Yep.
Perfected it. Even had the other wide receivers all with the defense backs. They pulled off. They scored a touchdown. They away with it. And guess what? Their quarterback's out 4 weeks plus with a hand surgery.
I got to tell you, though.
Gods.
Yeah, gutty performance, though. I understand he hurt that hand in the first half of the game and continued on to play. Pretty gutty performance. I don't know what OU's schedule looks like here on out, but I know they play Alabama longer than 6 weeks from now. So he'll be back when they had
off week, and then they play a regular game, and then I believe they have Ole Miss. Maybe Ole Miss or somebody else, and they don't know. They have the Red River rivalry, which will be a tough game, and then they have Ole Miss. They're projected and coming back for Ole Miss.
All right.
It's like 4 or 5 weeks.
What will be the headline Monday in Oxford, Mississippi after the Rebels host LSU tomorrow afternoon? A game in which you said should be at night. I agree with you there. Kind of glad that it's not for personal reasons. But what's the headline going to say?
How about the story at quarterback? That's one of the best stories I've ever seen. Guy wins a natty in Division II, Ferris State, and it is good. The story goes, I heard a story that Kiffin said, hey, we're not going to be able to we need a backup. We got Austin Simmons. He's going to be our quarterback. We're paying him. We need a backup. We're not going to be able to pay and get a good backup. So we got to go out and find somebody. He had his assistants go scout the lower divisions, FCS and Division II. They see this guy, and he's the real deal. He's what you want in a college quarterback. You got a guy who can spin it a little bit, but he can run. He's disruptive, and they're playing for him. And man, I don't know what he got. He probably, if he were smart, he'd be renegotiating mid-year. He probably only got $400,000. Just the minimum amount for a quarterback. I think they win. I really do. I mean, LSU's defense is great. Something's going on with the offense. I don't know what it is. They're stuck in the mud for LSU. Maybe they come out and do better, but something's not right. And Ole Miss is good.
They are good.
Points, but they are good.
The only thing I think everybody is as well, a little concerned. Are they going to drop a game they shouldn't drop? Kentucky last year, will that happen? They beat Georgia last year, big win. Can they beat LSU tomorrow? We'll see. It's just they've got to avoid losing to a team that they have no business losing to. I don't know if you've seen the Lane Kiffin feature on ESPN. I saw about the last half of it Wednesday night. Really interesting. Lane Kiffin definitely has changed his life, his style. It's amazing the amount of weight he's lost and kind of transformed his body and his life. But I didn't realize all the 10-win seasons that he has had over there in Oxford, and just the best run Johnny Vaught was there, and I don't see it stopping. I mean, I think, Lane plays a very exciting, fast-paced, fun style football that kids want to be a part of.
Long way from hitting strip every night when he was in Tuscaloosa.
Joey Freshwater.
Yeah, so it is an amazing story. And look, it's hard to be an icon son, and his dad was an icon in the NFL.
Sure.
I mean, probably one of the top 5 D coordinators in the history of the NFL, and a hard ass.
Yeah.
He's obviously not a hard ass, but until now, I guess he's gotten his act together, which is really good to hear. He's still kind of a jerk. I mean, he's trying to rehabilitate his image because he may be trying to do something bigger. I mean, at some point, his kids will be gone.
Sure.
And he may want that bigger job and the big contract, big contract. Maybe the NFL again. I don't know. But
last headline I wanted to ask you about. What will the headline in Nashville be on Monday?
Let's party like it's 2024. Here it comes. All right, I think I've told you that. I don't know if I've told you this on the show. I know I've told you this in real life. There were only, before last year, there were 2 seminal moments in Vanderbilt football. 1969 when Watson Brown beat Alabama, and 1984 when we were there in Alabama. Homecoming, Vanderbilt Page beats Alabama. Okay.
Yes, they did.
Year.
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody that was at all 3. I was at 2 of them. So I am not going to Tuscaloosa next weekend. I'm actually going to be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, playing a pickleball tournament. I refuse to go back and watch it. Now, the only thing I hope is that if Alabama beats Vanderbilt, we don't storm the field and take the goalpost and put them in the Black Warrior River. Okay, that's all I'm asking. You think we're okay there? I think we're okay there. I think you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, we're good. Well, we're good there. I just no universe is right if Alabama can't beat Vanderbilt, even when Vanderbilt's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if they lose to Georgia. Okay.
Yep.
That world is not and look, he's a punk, but he's a damn good punk. I mean,
sure.
He is amazing. And that's what makes it. He's like that guy that gets under your skin that, it's like poking you. It's kind of, hey, needling you. And then he's good. It just, it's painful.
Yep.
So that's what I hope is, and I'm torn. I've never been torn in that football game. I'm always torn in that basketball game. So I hope Alabama beats the dog out of Vanderbilt. That's my own personal opinion.
I hear you. Well, Gurn, really appreciate your time. We got to move on. Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports is going to be on here in a couple of minutes. He is ready to go.
I need a lock. Can you give me a lock to take with me?
I'll text you.
Lock?
I'll text you.
You're gonna text me the Iowa 10-star pick?
Yeah, you know it. And I'll let you put a little coin on it while you're out there in Vegas. Y'all have a safe trip. Look forward to hearing all about it. Appreciate you joining me here today on the program. Gurn Senior. I really appreciate that. We'll be back in just a second. As I mentioned, Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, going to join us here just a moment from now. Going to take a quick timeout. Back with Lee when we return live from Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's here. Victoryland Casino's Corvette 25K giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Drive away in a Corvette or win your share of $25,000 in free play and cash. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings October 3rd and 4th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us here live at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. Ryder Cup, going to update you on that in just a moment. The Euros getting out to a quick start against the U.S. We'll update that for you here in just a moment. But Lee Sterling, our man from Paramount Sports, joining us as he does each and every Friday during this slot. Lee, I appreciate you being on with us as always. Barry's got the day off, Troy off this week, and he's getting a little R&R, much deserved.
Yeah, he needs it. He's on the go.
Yeah.
How about Scotty Scheffler down 3 strokes? Are you kidding me?
I mean, come on. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback on the Ryder Cup this morning. You're right. I mean, Scheffler, they're 3 down. Also, Colin Morikawa and Harris English 2 down to McIlroy and Fleetwood. DeChambeau and JT 1 up. They're the only grouping that is winning at this point. I understand JT's been struggling a little bit this morning as well. He needs to get his game going, but not a good start for the U.S. out of the gate. Maybe they can get it going on the backside.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the crowds. Maybe it thins out a little bit, once they get to the back 9. But, I mean, it looks like they're 40, 50 deep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think these folks are pretty excited about it over there. I think the bars opened up early there at Bethpage, Lee.
They were out. I have a couple friends who were there, and they were out late last night. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. You better believe it. All right, another big week of college and NFL football. I mean, this is kind of the weekends we've been waiting on, Lee. I mean, some great matchups. I know you're excited about it. Yeah. Let's kick it off with South Carolina and Kentucky. The Gamecocks, a 6.5-point favorite. I got to tell you, Lee, I was expecting more out of South Carolina this year. Maybe I'll see something from this point on. But what do you think about the Gamecocks and the Wildcats?
So they were number 11 in the polls a couple weeks ago. I was telling everyone this is way too high. I did not believe. I still don't. They're a top 25 team. So they make mistakes. The public. People that vote on these polls, they don't mean a whole lot. Now the pressure's off. Well, they do have a tough schedule coming up. They got LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, and A&M. This could be the who gets fired first bowl. I do believe that Stoops is in trouble, and you got to think both of them are in trouble here. So I think Kentucky, though, with the backup quarterback, going to have a rough go of it. Think that Sellers threw for over 300 yards, 302 yards on just 18 completions, going up against a really weak Kentucky pass defense. In fact, they're ranked 125th out of, I think it's 134 teams. Gave up 270 to Toledo, 330 to Eastern Michigan.
Oh,
I like South Carolina. Sometimes you got to lay it if you want to play it. Hint, this will actually be a selection for my clients. South Carolina big, 38-17.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Lee. I said it in the summer. I think Kentucky is going to be the worst team in the league. I'm certainly seeing that through the early part of the season. I think South Carolina is better than we've seen. And I think this is a good spot for Shane Beamer to kind of put the hammer down on Kentucky. Mississippi State, if you hadn't looked, hey, they're undefeated, believe it or not. Mississippi State taking on Tennessee. These teams don't face off very often, but Tennessee's going into Starkville as a touchdown favorite here.
Last week we had Biff, Back to the Future Poggi, all named first team. This week, Fluff Bothwell. I mean, Fluff.
How about that?
That can't be his real name. Someone had to give him that nickname. So can you imagine being called Fluff or Fluffer? He's an example of a guy that came from nowhere. They have a bunch of transfers that have really come in, played well, but this is going to be the first SEC game. A little bit different bar, even though they're playing at home. Joey Aguilar looks really good. Tennessee, there were 6 or 7 plays in that game against Georgia. Any one of those plays, last 7-8 minutes go their way, they win that game. Yep. I thought they were the better team here. So give Mississippi State credit. I think the over-under on them was like 2.5 wins. They've already gone over 4-0 straight up and against the spread. But last year the line was 26. You telling me, more than 3.5 touchdowns difference here? I don't think so. Tennessee 35-25.
Yeah, I think Mississippi State comes back down to earth. A great start for them. Competition just a little more difficult here in this spot with Tennessee. Yeah. Okay. We talked earlier on the program, this ought to be a night game in Oxford. Yeah. It's not. 2:30 kickoff there. Ole Miss hosting LSU, and the Rebels are the favorite here. What do you think?
So Trinity Chambliss, really good. I think he wins this game, he stays the starter no matter what. Yeah. Nothing against Simmons, talent, but throws too many interceptions, two in 2 games. So each. So problem here for Ole Miss, I think they have the best unit here, their offense.
Yep.
But I think they also have the worst unit. LSU's defense right there, top 5, top 10 easily, college football. I think their offense with Garrett Nussmeier is going to get going here against the weakest unit. Mississippi's defense giving up 33.5 points. Conference play, class wins out here. LSU 34-28. And also, Lane Kiffin, this might be the game. Every game, there's one game every year where he gets desperate, down 7 or 10, and starts going for it on 4th down. And it could cost his team. I think LSU pulls it out.
LSU with a winner on the road tomorrow afternoon in Oxford. For the second week in a row, Auburn is a 6.5-point underdog on the road. Now, I don't know what officiating crew is going to be out in College Station tomorrow night, but tomorrow afternoon. But I can promise you, these Auburn people are going berserk over what happened with the officiating last week. I got to think that officiating crew's probably got the week off, Lee, if I had to guess. But saying all that, what about Auburn on the road, second week in a row after a tough loss? What about the Tigers in this spot?
Yeah, that's got to be tough. And you wonder what goes on behind closed doors. These coaches, when they talk to the head of officials, a lot of these guys that are officiating these games, they're friends of a friend. Yeah. And the guy that's making the decision on, the assignments. And that's a problem. Biggest problem here also for Auburn, their quarterback, Jackson Arnold. He faced his old team last week. Now he has to come home after being sacked 10 times, practice, get back on a plane, and face maybe his tougher team in front of 100,000 fans here. A&M can throw the football. Mario Craver I thought he was good. He is next level. Already 20 catches here for 443 yards and 4 touchdowns. Casey Concepcion, everyone knew what he was all about. The Texas A&M blitz pickup, their linebackers step up and blast linebackers. So they're only giving up 2 sacks here. I like A&M. I think they're for real here at 31-20.
A&M 31-20 over the Auburn Tigers. That won't sit well with the Tiger fans. Nope. 2 losses, but we talked about it. We knew this was the gauntlet of the schedule for Auburn that could be a little tough. They come back from Texas A&M with an off week and then, of course, host Georgia. That leads us to our next game. Georgia hosting Alabama between the hedges tomorrow night. I thought this line would be about 5.5. It's been around 3. I've seen it as low as 2.5, seen it as high as 3.5. What about Georgia, Alabama tomorrow night between the hedges?
So these odds makers are not dumb. They make a line 5.5. Everyone's jumping on Alabama. They're making it pretty tough for you, but I don't think Georgia's that good. I mean, I told you that they got everything went their way. Give them credit. They won the game against Tennessee. It wasn't a total fluke, but they're also 3-12-1 against the spread since the first game of last year. Tells you they're not the same team as we saw 2, 3, 4 years ago. Even though Alabama gave up 230 rushing yards, game against Florida State, I think they're going to buckle down there and be better. And you got Jam Miller coming back. The running game should be better. And I think the receivers right there, they're second in the country behind Ohio State's trio. I think they're going to do some damage. I like Alabama here. Roll Tide, an Alcoa fantastic finish. You remember those? 28,
Yes.
27.
Boy, we're dating ourselves, Lee. I do remember the Alcoa fantastic finish. Yes, I do. All right. I know you got a big game, Vanderbilt, Utah State. Lee, in my life, I never thought Vanderbilt would be a 22.5-point favorite, but you got some info on this game against the Aggies. Yep. What do our viewers and listeners need to do?
First 5 callers get it for free for Vandy, Utah State. Just call 800-400-9741. We're on a roll since Sunday on a 6-0 NFL roll. You want to hop on? Check out all the specials, ParamountSports.com.
Awesome, my man. Thank you so much, Lee. I hear the phone ringing. They're already calling you.
Let's go.
Lee, let's do it. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, here with us today. Have a great week, Lee. He is on a roll. Phone calls coming in as we're on the air, folks. I mean, you kidding me? Take advantage of it. Some great info from Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports. Okay, a lot of good stuff coming in on the River Region Straw chat line. We're going to get to that when we roll back. Also, Ryder Cup updates. Monday's headlines today. Bill from Baltimore submitted one on the River Region Straw chat line. I want to know what your headline's going to be on Monday as well. What I'd like to hear it is, hey, bought a new vehicle at Stivers Ford Montgomery. I'm telling you, I'm through the roof. It was a great buying experience. We hear those type of headlines each and every day. And folks, it's end of the month, so go ahead and take advantage of end of the month savings here at Stivers. They want to meet and exceed those sales goals. How do they do that? By giving you the absolute best deal, lowest price sells cars. And if you're in the EV market, like any type of EV vehicle, one of our good friends, Jason from down in Troy, has got an EV F-150. This is the last month to take advantage of the federal tax credits. So when October rolls around, you won't be able to take advantage of that. Take advantage of it right now if you're in the market for an EV vehicle here at Stivers, where price sells cars. The kickoff savings sales event ongoing now, and a lot of construction going on as well. Things are booming here at Stivers because of you and all the other satisfied customers in the River Region and far beyond. So come by and see our friends here at Stivers in Montgomery, or their sister location, Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. Okay, going to take a quick break. When we come back, as I mentioned, going to get to that chat line. And at the top of the hour, I believe the Phantom is going to make an appearance here on the program. We'll get the Phantom 4. We'll check in on the Phantom's daily dog as well. Will Fisher, director of golf on the RTJ Trail at Capitol Hill, will join us in about 30 minutes or so, around 8:20, right after the Phantom. Want to get Will's take on the Ryder Cup, how it started out, how he thinks it'll play out through the remainder of the weekend. Ralph Michaels from Wager Talk and the Gold Sheet will join us in the bottom of hour number 2 as well. And as always, Chris, you know it, Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 topic wheel will be here today as well. So we got a lot left on the program. Don't you go anywhere. This is Longshore and McKnight, broadcasting live from Stivers Ford in Montgomery, sponsored by our good friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Hey, folks, how often do you think about your roof? Probably not often at all. I know I didn't until I needed a roof replacement. And I call my friends at Roof Life. Whether it's roof inspections, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, Roof Life is there for you. They use the highest quality products, top quality craftsmanship, and if you're like me, your roof can be replaced in one day. So if you're in need of a roof inspection, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, get in touch with my friends at Roof Life today. You can go to roofyourlife.com. That's roofyourlife.com, or dial them up locally at 334-306-6712. That's 334-306-6712.
Okay, back at it here live at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. Oh, man, Ryder Cup. Things aren't going real well for the home team, as they say. The U.S. down in every match but one. John Rahm, Terrell Hatton now one up on Bryson DeChambeau and Justin Thomas. They're through 8 holes. Also, Ludwig Aberg and Matt Fitzpatrick 3 up on Scotty Scheffler and Russell Henley. Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood. This is a match that Range Pro absolutely loves. Said lay the 195. I see why. Through 6. McIlroy and Fleetwood are 4 up on Colin Morikawa and Harris English. The only match where the U.S. has an advantage at this point, Xander Schauffele, Patrick Cantlay 1 up over Robert McIntyre and Victor Hovland. Oh, tough start for the U.S. early this morning at Bethpage Black. All right, Monday's headlines today. Did that earlier today. Want to get yours throughout the morning as well. Bill from Baltimore had a good one. I want to see if I can find it here. Yep, tomorrow's headlines today. This is Bill from Baltimore. SEC is full of parity, with Auburn beating A&M, Ole Miss beating LSU, and Mississippi State giving Tennessee all they can handle. Bill, what about the Georgia-Alabama game? You got that headline for us? Just asking. Just curious about that. But that's kind of what we're looking for there. So Bill thinks Auburn will win the game. We talked about that with Gurn. Lee Sterling doesn't think so much. But, hey, everybody's got an opinion. Likes Ole Miss to beat LSU. And I think Mississippi State might be able to hang around. But I don't think they're going to beat Tennessee tomorrow. Our buddy Mark says the fact that LSU has 5 brand new starters on the offensive line is why things are off, and Nussmeier has been injured since the beginning of the season. Interesting thought. Got to gel a little bit. Got to kind of get together. Maybe this is the game they're able to do it. Got a few under their belt. They'll get it going over in Oxford tomorrow afternoon. We'll see. Curtis obviously doesn't like the fact that Lee Sterling picked A&M to win the game outright. Curtis on our River Region Straw chat line says, I wonder how much money Lee has lost or caused people to lose going against Auburn as an underdog over the years. Is that, well, I mean, causing people to lose? I mean, he's not making you do anything. That's just his opinion. Similar to the Phantom. I mean, you could say that about me. Maybe I picked Auburn against the spread a time or two. Bill in Baltimore, another Monday headline today. Braves in season with 3-win sweep over the Pirates. Still missed the playoffs. Now, that's the kind of headline I like. That's what I'm looking for, Bill from Baltimore. That's very headline-ish, if you will. Brave sweep, but they still missed the playoffs. John from Wetumpka, I know I probably shouldn't pile on the Braves. Probably shouldn't do it, but tough. And Robbie from Greenville, I'd like to hear from you, buddy. I'd like to hear from you about your Braves. I want to know what you think, because it's just not going well. A lot of great high school football as well. We're getting some of that on the chat line today as well. So certainly if there's some big high school matchups around, we'd like to hear it. I was talking to a gentleman last night from down in the Luverne area. Luverne undefeated, coming up to Montgomery to take on MA tonight. Both these teams undefeated. Big matchup at McLemore Field tonight, and that should be awesome. So we got a lot of great action. And if you want to let us know about a big high school game this tonight, we'd certainly love to hear about that as well. Okay, getting close to the top of the hour. Before we get going here, we'll just set up hour number 2 for you. Obviously, the Phantom is on his way. I see a little commotion out in the parking lot. So I believe he is going to be joining, just coming in. I'm going to move out of the way and let the Phantom come in. We're also going to talk with Will Fisher, the director of golf at Capitol Hill on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. Talk about the Ryder Cup, what's going on this weekend. Also, what's happening up at Capitol Hill. Ralph Michaels, Wager Talk, and the goal sheet at the bottom of hour number 2. And, of course, we'll check in with Ralph Michaels, as I mentioned, and then the Victoryland topic will at the latter part of hour number 2. Dennis Mitchell. We have a lot of people wanting to know about the Dennis dating update. We're still getting a lot of feedback on that. I do sense some interested parties. I'm having a little difficult time finding any South Korean women that are interested in Dennis. Dennis mentioned that he would like to go out with a South Korean. I'm telling you, Kelly, it's true. He did tell us that. But, Dennis, we're working on it for you, my man. Don't you worry. I can't guarantee South Koreans, but we're working on it. Dennis chimes in today. East Carolina 28, Army 6 last night. John, what are you hearing about A.J. McCarron running for public office in Alabama? What are you hearing? Thank you, Dennis. Dennis, I have heard that. I hear a lot of things. I don't know if there's much substance to that. People didn't think Tuberville, had any experience, which he didn't. But I'm just not sure A.J. McCarron, let's say, is refined enough. Maybe he needs a little more growing to take on a role of that magnitude. I don't think there's much to it. I don't hear a lot of push behind it, but I have heard that. Dennis, what about me for political office? And you as my campaign manager? Now, that's a duo that I think's got a chance, got a little traction, got some legs. Always campaigning, just hadn't announced yet. That's always been my motto. I see the Phantom is about to make his way into the building. I'm going to step aside. I think Gurn is going to put up that famous Phantom logo just to let everybody know that what is coming up, what is in store. And we'll dig that out of the vaults here and tell you, there it is. And we will get ready. So, Phantom, how you doing? Good to see you, sir. Get out of the chair. Move it around. Would you like some coffee? Okay, we'll get that for you. All right, I'm out of here. Phantom, take it over. You're up. Well, we probably should leave the screen black because last weekend was not good. Just going to go ahead and tell you right now, it was not a good weekend for the Phantom. We did get a push, and that's about as good as it got. Now, look, we're not going to hide from it. When we have a bad weekend, we got to face the music, as they say. We got to come and let our audience know we're still here scratching and clawing, fighting for the wins. But last week was not good. 0-3-1. 0-3-1. Our push was the Auburn Tigers. We got it at 7 last Friday. The game kicked at 6.5. Hey, pays to be on top of it. Be ready to go because those lines are going to move. When the Phantom gives you the number, you better jump on it. We've known these numbers to move. We told you, Gurn's heading to Vegas this afternoon. Gurn Senior and Junior, actually. They better get on these numbers as we release them. Just letting you know. All right, here we go. 0-3-1 last week. 6-9-1 on the year. We got some work to do. Now, the Phantom is brought to you exclusively, I guess, still sponsored by River Region Straw. I wouldn't blame him if he kicked the Phantom to the curb, but they know at River Region Straw, the Phantom always comes back strong. They're good folks over there. And if you need any pine straw for your landscaping needs, River Region Straw is the only place to go. It doesn't matter how much you need, how little you need, River Region Straw's got you covered. From just 1 yard or maybe a whole golf course, from a pickup truck to a whole 18-wheeler load, River Region Straw. Call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, River Region Straw. Also, our selections are for amusement purposes only. We do not condone any type of illegal gambling activity. I mean, that's been our way of thinking and our motto since we came on the air many, many years ago. Now, what you do with them is completely up to you. And I have heard people do gamble on these selections. Okay, that's fine. We're just telling you what the law states. And we know a lot of people in this state break it. Okay, here we go. Also, let me tell you this. We're going to have some cold days and nights ahead. Go ahead and stock up on that seasoned firewood from Kenny at River Region Straw so you won't get caught cold, stranded. Go ahead. Kenny will hook you up. They'll deliver. They'll even stack it for you. River Region Straw. All right. I'm going to make sure I got everything taken care of. First of all, we're going to hit the Phantom's Daily Dog before we get into the Phantom 4. All right. I think halftime last night, Seattle's up 2 touchdowns. And I'm not worried. Arizona's the home team. Interesting uniform combination. Did you notice that last night? Kind of tweaked that Cardinal uniform. NFL teams are big about tweaking uniforms. Wait till Auburn and Alabama start doing it because it's going to happen. So I thought, I think Arizona's going to come back in this game, which they did. And then there's some new NFL rule about the landing zone on a kickoff, the landing zone. And the ball off the Arizona kickoff did not land in the landing zone. So the Seahawks got to start their drive at the 40. Well, they're already basically in field goal range. Now, I'm not talking about Arizona's 40. They're 40. I mean, you got what? Make 1 first down, and you're basically in field goal range. And that's what happened. Seahawks win it 23-20. Came back, fought hard, kicked and scrapped around, got it close, had a position to win, but the kickoff rule bit us in the butt. Still having a winning weekend, but tonight is going to take us over the top. In our Phantom Daily Dog, we're going with a game. Again, we are staying in Arizona. For some reason, we love in Arizona because Arizona State is hosting TCU tonight. We really like TCU catching 3.5 in this game. TCU bye week. That was last year. Since the bye week last year, TCU has gone 9-1 straight up, 7-3 against the spread. Arizona State last 3 games have been scoring a lot of points. Look for a tighter game in that case. I think there's a pretty decent gap between TCU and this team in the power ratings. I like the veteran quarterback in Josh Hoover for TCU. I think the veteran experience is going to be the difference. Not going to get rattled in Tempe. I'm taking the Horned Frogs plus the 3.5 at Arizona State tonight. In a game I think they can win outright, but we'll take the 3.5. With TCU, that is the Phantom's Daily Dog today. Phantom's Daily Dog today. Okay, now it's time to get to the Phantom 4. Presented by River Region Straw. Okay, our first game is tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 on ABC. It is LSU at Ole Miss, where the Rebels are laying 1.5. 1.5. Should Ole Miss be the favorite here? Well, let's see. We all know LSU earned a 29-26 win in overtime last year as a 4-point home underdog. Even in the losing effort, The Rebels defense held Garrett Nussmeier to one of his worst games of his college career. 22 of 51. Ooh, with 2 interceptions. Woof. With another year under his belt, I'm not expecting that type of performance tomorrow in Oxford. I think Nussmeier and this newly revamped offensive line, was talked about earlier today, will be the difference. This LSU team has already passed 2 big matchup tests already this year. Ole Miss has not. Wrong team favored? I think so. LSU wins the game outright. The 1.5 is a bonus. Take LSU plus the 1.5 in Oxford tomorrow. Our first game at 2:30. 1 in, 1 to go. This game is also at 2:30 tomorrow on ESPN, where the Auburn Tigers travel to College Station to take on Texas A&M. The Aggies, a 6.5 point favorite. How do the Tigers bounce back after Jackson Arnold took 10 sacks against Oklahoma? It's another tough road environment at Texas A&M, especially with how well Marcel Reed, the Aggie quarterback, continues to play. Aggie receiver Mario Craver averages 22.2 yards per catch with 4 touchdowns. The Tigers' offense needs to figure out how to keep Arnold upright. But Auburn's defense is good enough to keep them within the number. And they will. Grab the points. Auburn keeps this one close. We like the Tigers plus 6.5 at Texas A&M. 2 down, 2 to go. Got the afternoon slate out of the way. Let's move into the nighttime. This one is at 6:30 tomorrow night on NBC, where Oregon is at Penn State and the Nittany Lions are laying 3.5. Now, you might not have noticed this, but Oregon visits Penn State for the first time since 1964. I was 1 year old. Well, probably hadn't turned 1 yet. It's been 61 years ago. In a rematch of last year's Big Ten championship game, Duck transfer quarterback Dante Moore has been under control so far. I like how he's played. This is a statement game for Nittany Lion quarterback Drew Allar, who has another chance to knock off a top 10 opponent. Since the Ducks arrived into the Big Ten, they have played at UCLA, Purdue, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Northwestern. They can handle Happy Valley as well. We're grabbing the points, taking the Ducks, plus the 3.5 at Penn State, 6:30 tomorrow night on NBC. 3 down, 3 to go. No, 1 to go, excuse me. 3 down, 1 to go. I only do 4, Kelly, right? Yeah. 3 down, 1 to go. Tomorrow night, 6:30 on ABC. You know the game we're talking about. Tomorrow night, 6:30 ABC. Alabama at Georgia, where the Bulldogs are laying 3.5 between the hedges. Now, I think it's a well-known fact that Alabama is one of the few teams, the very few teams, that has had Georgia's number over the last decade, having won 9 of the last 10 meetings. Kirby Smart knows how to win games in Athens, but he's not real popular in the betting market. Since beating Clemson in Atlanta to open up last season, Georgia has gone 3-13 against the spread. Whoa, woof. With two evenly matched teams, what is the difference here? The team that is more efficient in the red zone. Bama quarterback Ty Simpson leads the SEC with a 186.6 passer rating. You know, I am with passer ratings and QBRs. That will be the difference. Take the points and another down-to-the-wire finish. Bama covers the 3.5 in Athens tomorrow night. So, do you see a trend here? Of the Phantom Four this week, all four of them are underdogs. The Phantom is going a dog card this week. You're getting points in every game, folks. You're already winning the game before they kick it off, so to speak. Recap. LSU at Ole Miss. We like LSU plus 1.5. Grab the points in a game we believe they can win outright. Game number 2, Auburn at Texas A&M. A&M's laying 6.5. We say grab the 6.5. Auburn covers the number here. Game number 3, Oregon at Penn State. Penn State laying 3.5. We like Oregon. Take the Ducks plus the 3.5 at Penn State. And Alabama at Georgia. We like the Tide plus the 3.5 between the hedges. Not only are these games, every one of them's an underdog, they are a road underdog as well. Road underdog. So there you have it. The Phantom Four this week. Feel good about it. Lock them in. Get them ready. Phantom Four has been released. Brought to you exclusively by our friends at River Region Straw. Hey, also want to tell you about our good friends at Jim Massey Cleaners and Laundry. It's an Alabama-based, family-owned and operated business that's been specializing in dry cleaning and laundry services in the River Region since 1941. Their pickup and delivery service for all of your cleaning at no extra charge. Their wash, dry, and fold service where you can have more time for your day and let them handle your laundry needs. Also, professional rug cleaning as well from Jim Massey Cleaners and Laundry. Convenient locations throughout the River Region for you to drop off or use their pickup and delivery service at no extra charge. Their laundromats are certainly convenient as well. I talk about it all the time. Every time I head down to the Gulf Coast, I'm not washing towels and sheets. I'm bringing them home and letting Jim Massey take care of that at their laundromats. It makes the trip a lot more enjoyable, and you get more time for R&R, and you're not working on sheets and towels. Bring them home. Let Jim Massey do it. Jim Massey, laundry and cleaners, over 75 years serving the River Region. When we come back, Will Fisher from RTJ Capitol Hill joins me. We're going to talk a little Ryder Cup. Things ain't looking good for the U.S. We'll get Will's thoughts when we return.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes Oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has F-150s over 16 grand off plus 2.9%. And your last chance for a tax credit on Lightnings. 17 grand in savings or 0% or $349 a month with zero down.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has Broncos under 35 grand. Bronco Sports under 24 grand. Rockies under 29 grand or $299 a month with zero down. And new Explorers 10 grand off or 2.9%.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 20 minutes past the hour. Our man Will Fisher, RTJ Golf, Capitol Hill, joining us here today. Hey, Will, good morning. How you doing, my man?
Man, I am doing fantastic. A lot better than Scheffler and the boys. They are getting beat down pretty good here.
Oh, Will, tell me about it. I'm checking out the scores right now. DeChambeau and JT, 1 down to Rahm and Hatton. Then I'm looking at Scheffler and Henley that you mentioned, 4 down to Aberg and Fitzpatrick. What about Colin Moore, Calvin Harris, English? They are 5 down to Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood. The only match the U.S. is up in, one up Xander Schauffele, Patrick Cantlay over Robert McIntyre and Victor Hovland. Man, things are not going well for the home team.
No, I think the Schauffele pairing probably is our best pairing. Against probably their weakest pairing in McIntyre and Hovland. But, I'm not surprised if you're going to, the Fleetwood McIlroy pairing was their best pairing 2 years ago. Yeah. And so I'm not surprised that we're down in that. To be down 5 is a little disappointing. But I don't know that I like the pairing. I think Schauffele and Burns have played really well together in the past, and I don't know why we didn't play Scheffler and Burns, but that's a question there. But we'll see. We really need to win these 2 matches. The Xander match we need to win, and the match with JT and Bryson we need to win. Just listening to it, driving into work, listening to it, we've lost a lot of the energy in the crowd, and I think we have to have energy in the crowd for us to win this Ryder Cup. We are overmatched when you look at the quality of players and who's playing well right now. They have guys that are playing much hotter than us and guys that have had much better years than some of our guys. I've been impressed with Schauffele. He didn't have a really good year. You had to pick him, but he's trying to keep up. Hopefully Cantlay plays well enough. He can kind of drag them to a victory. We're not good putters as a team. And I'm afraid that's going to come back to get us. I would like to see DeChambeau and English together. I think that might be a really good pairing. It's kind of a contrast in games and how they approach the golf course. One guy obviously taking, the shortest route and the longest swing or the longest drive, and English is really, really steady down the middle of the fairway, really good with approach shots, a good putter. So I am a little disappointed and so far in how we're doing with Russell Henley. Russell, I think, has really not played well. And Scheffler is, putting him in some pretty good spots. So we'll see how it shakes out. But, man, we've got to win these 2 matches. We do not need to go down after this first round of matches.
I know you're familiar with the show. You're probably familiar with one of our longtime viewers and listener, Range Pro. He is really, let's just say, cashed in on wagering on professional golf this year. He texted me early this morning before they teed off. He says, I know I'm laying a ton, but I love laying 195 with McIlroy and Fleetwood. Well, he's feeling pretty good today. They're 5 up. I believe not even made the turn yet. 5 up through 7 holes. Will, if you're down that much that early, just double checking here. They are 5 up going into 9. How do you, I mean, you're looking at your partner going, wait a minute, we ain't even made the turn yet, and we are 5 down. How do you regroup?
Yeah, John, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that those guys, I mean, there's just no, match play is all about energy and momentum, to be honest with you. I mean, yes, you've got to execute the shots. But, Fleetwood and McElroy are really, really good. And Fleetwood, coming off of winning the FedEx Cup, his confidence has got to be sky high. And not just, I mean, he was already a great player, one of the best in the world. But, being able to prove to yourself that you can win, and not only win, but on a major like stage on the PGA Tour, I think just sent his confidence, through orbit. And so I'm really not surprised. You've got to find a way to get some energy, though. That's the whole deal. If you think back to how well we played in Hazeltine, we had a lot of energy the entire week. And I know a lot of people don't like him, but this was one of the reasons that I thought that you should, if there was any way possible for you to find a spot for Patrick Reed on the team, this is why. You have guys like DeChambeau, Reed, even, when Keegan was playing, Keegan was a energy guy. And you got to have some of that. We know that Scheffler is, not an energy guy. Russell Henley, not an energy guy. Harris English, not an energy guy. That doesn't mean they're bad guys. They're just very calm and, and stoic. And that is great when you're playing your own ball in a PGA Tour. You don't get rattled, in a 4-day event where you're down after the first day. In a match play deal where it's, where it can go quickly. And then they're seeing that now, how quickly this can turn. If you have no energy, you're gonna lose the whole thing before you know it.
Yeah, so we're not even, I wasn't going to say lunchtime, but I mean, heck, they're not even to brunch time.
Right.
What is Keegan Bradley thinking right now? Is he trying to make some better combinations for later today and tomorrow and whatever else? I mean, he's got to be kind of going, gee whiz, what's happening here? Freaking out.
I don't want to, and I'm not questioning Keegan. I know he's really done a good job with this, and he's put a lot of thought into it. I'm maybe I'm mistaken, but the captain has a lot of, the home captain has a lot of influence on how these things are played.
Yeah.
I was shocked that we went with the alternate shot first, and we didn't go with essentially the best ball first, where the guys would play their own ball out, and you would take the better score there. Versus the alternate shot format. I wonder about that. But I will also tell you, there are some guys, we need to pay. I think we should pair some of our longer hitters with some of our more straighter guys that we have. And, I know you want guys to get along and play well together and have a good energy together, which is why you always have, why we've had Cantley and Shoffley, those guys together for a while. But also sometimes the contrast in games will help as well. You got Ben Griffin sitting on the bench, and I'm trying to think who else is on the bench. But Ben's another guy that's had a really good year, a really good putter, good short game, and so it just kind of makes me wonder, is that maybe we got to put those guys in and find a good pairing. But you got to send your horses out if you're American. You got to send DeChambeau out every time. I think you got to send JT out every time. You got to send Shoffley, or not Shoffley, but Cantley out every time, and you got to send Scheffler out every time. And then outside of that, you got to find some matches, some pairings that work.
Yeah, well, they got some ground to make up, Will. There's no doubt about that. But certainly going to be fun to watch. Let me ask you this, Will. I brought it up yesterday. Should this event be in the summer? I mean, the middle of the summer, we're getting, baseball, we're dragging, we're waiting for college football and the NFL to start. I just wonder why they're having it. I mean, a big weekend of college football, the NFL's in week 3 or 4. Would this be better served if they had it on a standalone weekend in the summer?
I think they really struggle. I mean, the PGA Tour has really bounced back and forth on their schedule a lot in the last 6-8 years. we saw another change in the FedEx Cup, and I would like to see it, closer to Labor Day, probably. I don't know why you couldn't do that based on the way you've done the Tour Championship, other than you're trying to give the captains and the team some time to mesh a little bit. But I would like it. I'm a little heartbroken that that we've got so many good football games this weekend. I'll tell you this: I think American sports fans would be really, really struggling if we had a really good lead after today. If we had a big lead after today, it would really be. I know I would be. I think you would be as well. And a lot of the people that I know would be really struggling as to whether I'm going to be watching this in the Ryder Cup, or am I going to be watching college football? I will say this. I talked about the energy, but to tie that kind of together, I heard this on one of the Exodus or Sirius Radio's PGA Tour station deal, and I said it the other day to some friends of mine. This is as close as college or as golf will get to a college football type of energy.
Yes.
And we all know that if you're a team like Alabama and you're going to Georgia, you need to keep your energy up. You need to be confident in what you're doing. You need to try to keep a lot of momentum on your side, because going into an away stadium like in Georgia, where Kirby's only lost one home game and maybe forever since he's been the head coach, you got to have a lot of things go your way, and you got to be always positive and have a lot of momentum going your way. This is, what I don't want to see from a Ryder Cup standpoint. You didn't want to see Europe come in, suck all that energy out, and right now they're doing that. But back to your question, I would love to see it a little earlier, before we get into the meat of the football season.
So, Will, my plan tomorrow is I go quad box, but I've never gone quad box with 3 college games in a golf event. So I'm going golf and then 3 college games on my quad box tomorrow on my YouTube TV. My wife hates it, but I love it. I feel like I'm almost in a sports book at my house. It's great. So I will be checking that. And maybe tomorrow, if they get hot out of the gate, maybe a little bit more people are engaged in that, because I'm with you. I don't want this thing to fall flat and the U.S. gets so far behind that nobody is interested in it. All right. I know you're going to have the golf on up at Capitol Hill. Obviously, all the college football. Still a great time to be playing golf. You mentioned last time we visited, the Legislator is open. I can't wait to come out there and check that out. So let our viewers and listeners know what's all available there at Capitol Hill.
Yeah, absolutely. Golf courses, all 3 of them are in really great shape. And we have had tremendous, outstanding feedback from customers playing the Legislator. The thing that I keep hearing repeatedly from customers as they come off that golf course is that it is more player friendly, which is great. That's one of the things that we wanted to achieve with that. So excited that we're getting that type of feedback back. Beautiful. We've limbed up a lot of trees and stuff, so just the view itself is much improved as well. So we're excited about that. Let me tell you, John, starting on Wednesday, October the 1st, we put our 2026 trail card on sale. You can buy it and go ahead and take advantage of it right now. You don't have to wait to 26 to use it. You can use it immediately and start earning your reward points. But you're also going to save $5 by buying it between October the 1st and January 31st. So if you have your 25 trail card, come out in the month of October, come see us, come play, renew your trail card, get that knocked out and done with. Maybe even buy a trail card for a Christmas present. Us guys, we always tend to wait to the last minute to get those Christmas gifts, but you can go ahead and get a little early start on that. So, we're excited. It's going to be a great month for us. I'm headed in right now in one of your events that you've been fond of and played in several years. I've got the PICE organization there today with the Catholic high school, so we're excited about that. It's going to be a great event. But I know that Ryder Cup's happening. People feel like this is the end of golf, but this is going to be the best weather to play golf in every year. I say that. And we had a little rain come through earlier this week, where the temperatures are going to start to kind of go down a little bit and cool off. And so it's a great time to come play some golf.
Well, it is. I'm looking forward to getting up there. Will, as always, check it out at rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill or that phone number direct to the pro shop. How do they call you?
Yeah, they can reach us at 285-1114.
Awesome. Will, have a great day, my man. Thanks for the Ryder Cup info. We'll come see you soon.
Thanks, John. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you, buddy. We appreciate that. Great info. More great information's coming your way when we return. Our man Ralph Michaels from Wager Talk and the Goal Sheet going to join us here to break down some big games coming up this weekend. Will Auburn go on the road and win? Will Alabama go on the road and win? And if they both come home losers, what is the reaction going to be? We're about to talk about it.
Extra, extra. The referral perks just doubled at Dixie. Now through November 30th, get $50 for you and $50 off for your friend when you refer them to Dixie. That's a $100 value. Current Dixie customers get 10% off any repair just for being loyal. Dixie Cares Plan members get an unbeatable 20% off. Plus, you can finance anything over $250. Double the rewards, double the savings.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry and Longshore McKnight are giving you the opportunity to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact score for either the Auburn or Alabama games each week. Limit 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday morning the week of the games, and all entries must be received before kickoff of each game. Enter by emailing your picks to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. And in the subject line, type in diamonds. 1 additional entry to win a 1-carat natural diamond valued at $3,000 will be up for all weekly winners to pick the score in the national championship game. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. Open 7 days a week, or check them out at marguerites.com. At Marguerites, they make it. They really make it.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you are with us here today on this Friday edition. Barry out today, but we are moving right along, and Ralph Michaels from Wager Talk and the Goal Sheet joining me here today on the program. We're live at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. Hey, Ralph, good morning. How are you today?
Doing great, guys. I should say Guy. My apologies. So, do tell Barry that I want to thank him last week for having Troy making a great comeback and getting the outright win for my customers. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, how about that win for the Trojans? You're exactly right, Lee. That was down 17-0, 21 unanswered. What a finish for Troy. He was excited, believe me, on Monday. I can promise you that. I'm just curious. I know you heard our conversation just a moment ago. How popular is wagering on golf?
We have, I think we have about 33 handicappers at Wager Talk, and 4 of them do golf. So that's a pretty big number. I mean, obviously, the Masters is the creme de la creme for betting because starting the season and everyone's interested and everyone has their pools. But all the major tournaments, it really is, it's hit or miss. to be honest with you. It's probably, I'm going to say 80% of the purchases are the majors or the big tournaments, and then it really falls off for the other ones. So it's still growing. It continues to grow. And, we used to just be able to bet, will this person win? And you had to get crazy odds. And what are the odds with 80 guys in the field or making the cut? But, the matchups and the three-way bets now, who wins among the three people groups, have become so popular. And it gets a lot of people involved in golf.
Yeah, I got a buddy here that he loves it. He's killing it. He's been betting the PGA Tour all year and got the Ryder Cup today. And it's just interesting how that has evolved over the years, to say the least. All right, as you well know, Ralph, I mean, people have been waiting for this weekend. Alabama, Georgia rematch, Auburn heading out to Texas A&M, Oregon, Penn State getting together. Heck, LSU and Ole Miss, a big game. Vanderbilt undefeated. Let me ask you this, Ralph. Have you ever seen Vanderbilt as an over 3 touchdown favorite ever?
Well, not that I can remember, but, as you say that, I'm going to try to go to the database right now. Vanderbilt and line less than or equal to 20. And I will tell you that. Please work database, because I'm under pressure and we're wasting time here. Let's see. They were a 20. I guess I need to make it line less than negative 20.
Yeah.
1 second. All right. They were a 38.5 point favorite against Charleston Southern. That was an FBS team. Doesn't really count. A 27.5 point favorite against Ball State last year. A 32 point favorite against Elkhorn State last year. 35 point favorite against Alabama A&M. But let's see. The last time they were favored against an FBS team by this much was a 20 point favorite in 2013 against UAB.
Wow. Man, 22.5 against Utah State in Nashville. Looks like they're going to be undefeated when they come to Tuscaloosa next week, but we'll get into that later. We don't want to get the cart before the horse, as they say. All right, a lot of discussion about this game this week, Ralph. They're on the road, but a lot of people are kind of curious that LSU is an underdog at Ole Miss. Your thoughts about that?
I think they deserve to be an underdog. I think that you look at LSU and you look at their offense. They put up 530 yards in the stat pattern last week against South Louisiana, but I was not impressed with the 365 yards against La Tech. I was not impressed with the 316 yards against Florida. And let's remember, we all know Lagway threw 5 interceptions. One of those was a pick 6. So you are plus 4 turnovers on the day, and your offense only scores 13 points. That's a major concern for me right there. That's enough for me to get off the snide. Now, LSU's rush defense has been solid, but again, it's because of the offenses they faced. I do think Ole Miss deserves to be the favorite. I lean Ole Miss. No strong opinion in this game, but I think the Rebels get it done.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting matchup over there in Oxford. I think they've already got the party started at the Grove, waiting for this kickoff tomorrow at 2:30. Oregon and Penn State, still hard to imagine that it's a Big Ten matchup. Happy Valley at night, white out, the whole deal. And I like both of these teams. I think they're really, really good. I'm having a hard time deciding who's the better team in this matchup.
I have Oregon rated a little bit higher, but Penn State, a whiteout, I give a 5.5 point home edge. My normal home edge is about 2.5 or 3 points. So Death Valley at night for LSU, Penn State whiteouts are my only two that I'm ever over 5 points. So that shows you how much I respect them. But I'll tell you what, there's one thing that absolutely has me on Oregon, and only one thing. It is some coach up there who used to start at Vanderbilt playing against ranked teams. He's 1-18 straight up against the top 10 team. And if you take away favorites of 7 or more, he's 0-13 straight up.
Ooh,
I cannot trust James Franklin in these big games. I cannot trust their quarterback in these big games. If they win this week, that may change in my mind. But my mindset right now says no way I could bet Penn State and James Franklin against a top 10 team.
Yeah, good point, Ralph, because you're right. Big games, he has not shown up. That's going to be interesting to watch, no less. All right, it's there again. The two teams here in the state of Alabama. You can imagine the conversations we've had this week. Obviously, officiating was a big point of the discussion from the game out in Norman last week with Auburn and Oklahoma, but we moved on. But here's the way I look at it, Ralph. Auburn's going on the road again, back-to-back weeks, conference road, dog, 6.5 points, same as they were last week. How do they rebound? Can they go into College Station, 108,000 people? Can they go in there and pull off a victory?
Well, remember, I'm like 0 for 100 picking Auburn games until last week, and I didn't deserve to win that one. Here on the show, I said, I'm going to lean Oklahoma, so you should bet Auburn, and Auburn deserved to win that game. Like you said, the hidden player, the blah, 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 the safety at the end. So, you know, it is like night and day. So the question is this. They go to Baylor, right? They rush for 307 yards. They go to Oklahoma. They rush for 67 yards and 1.9 yard per carry. So is Baylor's rush defense that bad? Is Oklahoma's rush defense that good? What happened to Auburn in that mix? Well, you look at Auburn's O-line, and they were just brutalized with those sacks and the run game last week against Oklahoma. But I do think Oklahoma is a clear top 5 defense. Now, A&M's defense, not quite as good. You look at A&M, remember, they gave up 203 yards, rushing against UTSA in the opener. Against Notre Dame, they held them to 136, 3.5. I think Auburn can run the ball. You know, this is a case where I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, even though A&M has scored 40 plus in all 4 games. You know, I think it'll be a lower scoring game. I think both teams are going to run the ball. I think the clock is going to get slowed. I actually like under first half for an opinion on the show. If I had to pick a side, I would go with the Tigers.
Okie doke. I like that too. Those first half plays you've been telling us about over the last couple of years certainly have been cashing in. Okay. Alabama's already got one loss. We all know it. Looked terrible down in Tallahassee against Florida State. Bama fans are having a hard time imagining, Ralph, they could be 2-2 on Sunday morning. What are your thoughts about the game between the hedges tomorrow night? Georgia hosting Alabama. The Bulldogs about a 3.5 point favorite.
Well, I'm going to disagree with the statement you made there, John. And you look at what they did against Florida State. All of a sudden, that 31-17 loss isn't so bad. You know, yes, they were outgained by 41 yards, and you know they needed a turnover, but you know they held Florida State to 380 yards. That's couple hundred yards under what Florida State has averaged against their rest of the opponents. When I break down statistics, I don't look at what a team averages on offense because you play a weak schedule, you're going to have big numbers. You play a great schedule, you're going to have poor numbers. But what I do is I look at what teams do, what they allowed against a foe compared to what that foe gained against everybody else. And as they get more games under the belt, that gets stronger because the sample size gets much larger. But to me, Alabama is the number 1 statistical profile team in the country. Their offense is actually number 6, averaging over 200 yards more per game than their opponents have averaged against their other foes. And on defense, over 240 yards less than their opponents have averaged. I look at Georgia and the 496 yards they allowed to Tennessee. Yes, it's a good offense. Yes, they were on the road. Scares the heck out of me with 125 yards rushing. Alabama pulls the outright upset. We know they've dominated the series statistically. And I'll tell you what, I watched Ty Simpson. Yeah, he looked a little bit like a freshman against Florida State. He looked like a sophomore against ULM, and against Wisconsin, he looked like a junior. To me, better quarterback, better defense. Bama pulls the upset.
Wow, there you have it, folks. Roll Tide. Ralph Michael saying Tide goes into Athens and gets the win. Okay, those are the high-profile games. But here's what we love about having you on, Ralph. What's the game we're missing? Where's a game we need to be looking at?
All right, I'm going to give you 2 quick ones tonight because we gave you a Friday night winner last week. Florida State, Virginia over the total. We're talking 2 dominant offenses. This total's too low. For tomorrow, how about a 13-point outright upset? We're going to go with South Alabama plus the points against North Texas. Now, you look at South Alabama, and they've lost 3 in a row. But it's very important to note what they did in those games. You look at a 26.5-point dog to Auburn, they only lost by 15.
Correct.
Then they lose another game, but they cover. Then they lose another game and they cover. North Texas, 4-0. Are they dominant? No. They were a 4-touchdown favorite against Lamar. They were a 12.5-point favorite against Western Michigan, trailed at halftime and won in overtime. Yeah. They blew out Washington State, but they were +5 turnovers. And last week against Army, they eked out a win at the end. Misleading 4-0 against a misleading 1-3. I'm giving out South Alabama +13, but I did sprinkle some on the money line as well. So let's see if we can get a big outright upset for our viewers.
Oh, I love it, Ralph. It reminds me of when I was about 8, 9 years old, and I looked at my father. I said, Dad, we lost. He said, son, we didn't lose. And I figured out, it took me a minute to figure out what he was saying. But, man, like South Alabama, they're covering those numbers, and that's how you cash those tickets.
Yeah, and very much so. You know, you can't find value if a team is 6-0 straight up and 6-0 ATS because the public's all over it. What you want to find are those teams that have very poor straight up records and very good ATS records, or likewise to fade those teams that have very good straight up records and poor ATS numbers. That's where you mesh the value now that we're getting into conference play.
Oh, love it. Love it. Love it. Great information as always. Each and every week, Ralph Michaels, Wager Talk in the Gold Sheet. Ralph, let our viewers and listeners know how they can get more involved with what you're doing there at Wager Talk in the Gold Sheet.
Well, number 2 in college football since the start of 2023 at Wager Talk. I do have one of my 5% plays available for tomorrow. Since the start of 2023, I've had 6 college football 5% plays. They are a perfect 6-0. We have a special called the Weekend Warrior. You can get all of Saturday college football, all of Sunday NFL, and if I have a Monday night NFL game, you get it as well. $49. If you've ever wanted to try me out at Wager Talk, this is the weekend to do it. And just keep checking my Twitter at CalSportsLV as I continue to post daily updates on some interesting trends and situations. You know, I saw a weird one. I know we're not talking baseball, but my son actually tweeted this. My son's on Wager Talk as well. I've gotten him into this business. He tweeted out today, MLB teams the last weekend of the series, when both teams are poor, a win percentage of 45% or less, the home team is 20-4 since 2010. Just an interesting tidbit like that you may not think about as the season progresses and you're one of the worst records and you go on the road for that final road trip. It's tossing the towel, baby. So
yeah, it is.
Know, just because we're talking football and golf, follow me on Twitter and you'll find some interesting baseball and other sports as well.
Oh, outstanding. Ralph, man, great as always. We appreciate it. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next Friday.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. Ralph Michaels, Wager Talk in the Gold Sheet. Man, what excellent info. All right, Chris, get ready. The Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel is next. We're live here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars into the month savings. Take advantage of it, folks. Also, if you're in the market for an EV vehicle like that F-150 Lightning version, federal tax credits end this month. So you need to get in on that before October 1st. Back with more right after this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's here. Victoryland Casino's Corvette 25K giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Drive away in a Corvette or win your share of $25,000 in free play and cash. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings October 3rd and 4th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. Riverbank and Trust.
Okay, back at it. About 6 minutes to the top of the hour. Another great segment with Ralph Michaels. Always appreciate him joining us here on the program. A lot of great guests today, from Lee Sterling to the Phantom to Will Fisher. Ryder Cup talk, college football, college NFL football. Great stuff. Also, want to remind everybody, tonight, Lace Up on CBS 8. Make sure you check that out, 10:15. We'll, of course, preview all the big college games tomorrow, recap all the great high school games tonight. So make sure you get in on that Lace Up, 10:15 tonight on CBS 8. Okay, Gurn Jr. has the Victoryland 777 topic wheel. We're going to get that thing loaded up here and see what's going on as we get our signal back up here. We have a little signal issue. We'll try to get that straightened out here for you on the program. So we're going to go